So Republicans are kind of struggling to deal with the UAW strike because, they've tried to posture and position themselves as like, who, me, bro? I'm actually supportive of the workers. Whatevs. No big deal, bro. But in reality, that's not true. So Trump, for example, the media has been misreporting what Trump is going to do. The media has been reporting, oh my God, he's going to picket with the striking workers. Not true at all. In fact, what he's doing is an adjacent campaign rally, and it's non-union workers. So it's really just a virtue signal fest where he's not actually supporting the demands of the striking UAW workers. In fact, he says that openly. He said it in interviews. He keeps bringing up electric cars as if that's the main issue that the UAW workers have. That's not even an issue that they have. The main issues are 40% pay increase because the executives got that and record profits at the moment, and 4-day work week. That's what they're asking for. Trump has not come out in favor of those things because he's not in favor of those things. But you got Trump doing his little fake populist tap dance. You also have Josh Hawley now, who's trying to act like, bro, I'm actually pro-union, no big deal. Really? Did you support the PRO Act? No. Do you support raising the minimum wage? No. What was your AFL-CIO report card score? Literally 0%. 0%. And Lucas Kuntz has been busting him up all over social media over this. Marco Rubio's been trying to do the same thing. Bro, I'm with workers and like the electric cars are wrong, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's not what they're saying. It's such like a bait and switch. Like, I'm pro-worker, but here's an issue that has nothing to do with what they're asking for. Well, anyway, some people are still more old school conservative Republican, and they don't do the fake tap dance as well. They just are more honest, right? Nikki Haley comes to mind. Tim Scott comes to mind. They're just like, I am anti-union. I am not a fan of workers. Okay, thank you for being straightforward. But here we go. Sean Hannity is the original, Republican Ken doll who's been on air since the 1990s. Here are his thoughts on what's going on.
It doesn't mean a thing to me about this UAW issue. I will say this. Now, the latest offer was a 21% pay increase rejected by the union. They wanted a 4-day work week, 32-hour week work week. Sorry, guys, I can't support that. I love you guys. I love working people.
No, you don't.
I don't care if you do 40 hours in 4 days. I'm cool with that. You got to get your 40 hours in.
Thank you, Sean. I love it. I love it. So look, there's been a number of studies on the 4-day work week. When companies have switched to a 4-day work week, productivity either stays the same or goes up. That's what happened. So the end result is productivity is either the same or better, and everybody's happier. He's like, nope, can't get on board with that. No way, can't get on board with that.
Got to get the production time on the line. They got to make a profit. I think the answer is, and a lot of CEO pay is based on performance, and it's a significant amount of money. In many cases, for CEOs, it's tens of millions of dollars based on how well that company does.
I love this. So in other words, it's a total meritocracy for the CEOs, but for the workers, it's not that at all. So understand, guys, what Sean Hannity is not going to tell you is that in 2008, all of the workers took a haircut during the Great Recession. And they were told, hey, times are rough now, we're going to have to roll back your pay, but when times get better, we'll come back and we'll fix it and we'll pay you more. Well, guess what? Times got better, they're making record profits, and they didn't increase their pay. That's why they have to strike. Where did they come up with this number of a 40% pay increase? The executives got a 40% pay increase. By the way, a tremendous amount of their money has gone to stock buybacks. These were illegal prior to the 1980s when Reagan made them legal. So they absolutely can afford to pay their workers more. The workers are actually making the product and doing the work. But no, according to Sean Hannity, well, the CEOs, that's based on merit. That's based on how they do. What about the workers? What about the workers? If you're not supporting their demands, then you are not in favor of a meritocracy because they are really asking for more of a meritocracy.
We'll take small base salaries and they're betting that they're going to be able to make the company a big fat profit. Anyway, the union now wants a 30 to 40% pay increase. Pretty high. I think probably the answer is the best answer, real profit sharing. What do I mean by that? A hourly wage that people can support their families and that everybody then is pulling in the same direction. And that means pulling for a successful company so they can get a big fat check like all these Wall Street fat cats at the, end of every fiscal year.
Here's the thing. They are all pulling in the same direction, but the executives are making colossal, gargantuan amounts of money, and the workers are not. So that's already happening, and they're just not getting rewarded for the work that they're doing. Now, he goes on to bring up, the electric cars are operating at a loss. They're losing money from the electric cars. But again, what he doesn't tell you is overall they have record profits, number one. And number two, now the electric cars are getting subsidized under the Inflation Reduction Act, so they are incentivized to keep building them and build them here in the country. So he doesn't tell you those parts. Anything that's inconvenient for his narrative, he doesn't tell you. And so what he's doing here is effectively defending the CEO pay and saying, no, I'm not with the workers on their 4-day work week. And he wouldn't agree to just, 40% pay increase because the CEO's got it. He brings up their 21% pay increase as if that's like, well, that seems reasonable. It was not reasonable. So classic Sean Hannity, going the path of Nikki Haley, going the path of Tim Scott. But look, what I will say is at least I respect the honesty more than the Josh Hawleys of the world and the Marco Rubios and the Trumps who pretend like they're for working people. I mean, Trump's the best example of this. He virtue signals like he's pro-union. He pretends like he's pro-union, but he's going to speak to a non-union scab shop, okay? Has nothing to do with these auto workers now. When he was president, there was a net outsourcing of 200,000 jobs, manufacturing jobs, in his biggest piece of legislation, the tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations. It actually incentivized further outsourcing. There was the whole ruse and the scam of the carrier factory. Remember that? He acted like I'm going to save these jobs, and he made a big show of it, and the media went along with it, and even I was duped by it at the time. But then afterwards, the government subsidized the carrier factory to keep the jobs here, and then they kept the taxpayer money and outsourced the jobs anyway within a year. It was a total ruse, a total scam. And so I will say, at least for Sean Hannity, thank you for the honesty, because at least you're being straightforward about the fact you're not with the unions. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.